Yo. Welcome back, everybody. 95 the podcast. Flies podcast out. Sports, music, culture, dating, fashion, sneakers. We got it all. Welcome back, guys. This is episode 7. We want to thank everybody who's been supporting us for the last 8 or 9 months. It's been a hell of a journey. We came a long way. We got a long way to go. And it's been fun. We want to thank you for supporting the whole movement and supporting each and every member. Today, episode 7, we doing New School. I got my co-host today, my nephew, Nick. Tell everybody what up, bro.
Woo, I'm back. How y'all feeling?
Yeah, man. So we're just going to touch on a couple of things, discuss the differences between Gen Z and the millennials, and to also talk about what we have in common or whatever, because you already know this podcast is about bringing people together, especially at a time like this when we need unity more than anything. Before we get rolling with everything, I definitely want to say RIP. We lost 2 very important civil rights icons this weekend. We lost John Lewis and we lost C.T. Vivian. 2 very, very important people of the civil rights movement. They were part of SCLC. If you guys know, if you paid attention to social studies class, they were freedom riders. It's ironic that they both died on the same day. We want to thank those brothers for their contributions, and we definitely want to thank John Lewis for everything that he helped make possible for us in our particular generations. He was very instrumental in the civil rights movement in the early '60s, Nashville lunch counter sit-ins. He was a freedom rider, and what he's most known for is basically evading death during Bloody Sunday, the attack on him at Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma in 1965. He ended up becoming a longtime member of the U.S. House of Representatives, and he is responsible for us having a lot of the freedoms that we have to this day. And a lot of people don't realize, too, he started when he was your age. Nick, you're what, 23, 22? So this man was out there putting his life on the line at 22 years old, doing stuff that, you know, I probably, and I don't know, maybe you couldn't fathom doing when you was 22, 23. So we really appreciate him. And real quick interjection, the spot where Bloody Sunday actually went down, the Edmund Pettus Bridge, that was named for Edmund Pettus. I don't know if you guys know, but Edmund Pettus was a terrible human being. He was a Civil War brigadier general. He got caught about 1,000 times by the Union Army. They kept letting him go, and he kept leading another army against the Union. He fought in the Western Theater of the American Civil War on the wrong side of history. And it's funny that John Lewis made his stand on a bridge that was named after a traitor that basically stood for everything against the freedoms of people of our color. And so I think it would be right if Alabama decided to change the Edmund Pettus Bridge to the John Lewis Bridge. I think that would be a great thing. But we just want to say RIP to those 2 legends before we get into all of the unimportant stuff that we like to talk about on here. So definitely RIP. So how was your weekend? Before we get going, man, how was your weekend, man? What you end up doing?
How was my weekend?
That you could talk about or whatever, if you could talk about it.
I'm still recovering.
You still recovering?
A lot of Don Julio Anejo.
Ooh. Do you notice the price of Don Julio Anejo has went up like everywhere?
I went to Benny's yesterday. They told me $90 for a fifth.
$90?
90.
For a fifth?
90.
What
for
Benny,
a fifth.
What Benny's did you go to?
One I'm never going to again. That was an easy question.
What location was this?
On 40, is it 47? 46 or 47?
47. Oh, so you went to Lake Park, the Lake Park one.
And that lot with the Italian Fiesta.
Italian Fiesta, and it with like a Michael's over there. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Thanks for letting me know. I never go there.
Yeah. I thinking I'm going to Benny's because it's Benny's. I'm like, I know they got me on the price. They didn't have me on the price at all.
That's what's up, man. I was with the barber bully, man. Shout out to my boy Danny, my barber, whatever. Best barber in the city, man. You know, he's been in here with us. He's you can follow him on Instagram if you need a good cut at Daya Echoes. I'll place it on the page or whatever if you're having trouble spelling that out. But, you know, me and him, we ended up hitting High Park Cigars yesterday. And, you know, that's kind of our little go-to. That was our first time really hitting it up in a couple of months. And it just felt good to actually, you know, have a good stogie, have a nice glass of yak and stuff and be outside. And, you know, this time last year, you know, the High Park, the Silver Room Block Party was going on at this time last year. So it's a very...
I just got the memory from that.
Yeah, man. It's a big contrast from what things were like before, you know, everything changed with the pandemic or whatnot. But, you know, it felt good to be outside and be kicking it with my baseball homies and stuff. So, yeah, man. It's been a good weekend, man.
Definitely has been a good one.
So I guess I think our first order is just get into current events and get into the news and what's going on. So, Tory Guns, Tory Lanez, as you guys know, it's been big talk for everybody that follows the baller alerts and the shade rooms and, you know, all of the gossips and, you know, all of the blogs that hit you with the latest news with celebrities or whatever. Tory Lanez was arrested on July 16th and charged with carrying a concealed firearm in a vehicle in Los Angeles. Meg Thee Stallion was actually kicking it with him. I guess what they were kicking it with the Kardashians or something this weekend. Which one?
I don't even know. I have no idea who the second party was.
Yeah, I think before they had the little incident, they were kicking it with was it Kylie or Kendall? I can't.
I don't think it was one of them. I think it was like one of Meg's friends. You ain't seen the video?
You talking about when they had the live before the actual incident happened?
No, like pulling them out the car.
No, I didn't see that. They have the actual footage of it.
Somebody was like recording from a balcony.
Oh wow!
It looked like Tory fumbled the bag a little bit.
Oh,
he had Meg and whoever this other friend was with no clothes on. In the car, taking them all out the car.
Oh man, it's ain't no telling, but Meg Thee Stallion was later taken to the hospital for gunshot. At first it said gunshot wound, but it later ended up saying gunshot wound. So like plural, like multiple gunshot wounds to the foot or whatever. So early when they were talking about it, I guess they were saying that Tory had fired at somebody that attempted a robbery or something like that. But then I guess what's going on, we don't know. But I guess what's going on is that supposedly Tory shot her in the foot.
I don't think he shot that girl.
You don't?
No, I don't.
I really don't know. I'm still kind of waiting for more information. But you say you don't think he shot her?
No, I don't. Why you gonna do that for? Shoot in the foot on some Harlem Nights.
In all fairness, that's one thing too. It's the internet's been on fire with all these memes and these jokes about it. But let's make it very clear: this podcast, we do not condone domestic violence, and we think that that's unacceptable as far as violence against women, women of any status, shape, creed, color, whatever. Women are to be protected. I don't know if he if he like intentionally shot or whatever. If he did, then he need his ass beat. But it's a very weird situation, and I don't understand why he discharged his gun. If it was just them, if it wasn't a situation where he needed to like pull it on people that were like trying to rob them or get at them or something like that,
And that's my thing. That's why I feel like he didn't do it. Cause like you just said, like why would he? And I really feel like they got something going on behind closed doors.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that little episode of what was it, Quarantine Radio?
Yeah.
Meg was on there.
No, I didn't see it.
It was
because he had a lot of people coming through on Quarantine Radio.
Yeah, he had Meg come through, and it didn't seem like no celebrity to like. It seemed like something.
We don't know these people, but from what we saw from the surface level, they seem to have a really cool platonic type of relationship. I don't know if they were like anything bigger, but they seem to have like a really like cool friendship going on or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't know if he was trying to get at. A lot of people are saying he was trying to get at her, and she was rejecting him, and that's why he shot. Who knows, man?
If that
when
is the case, he got something going on. He got to
he
fix.
he got some stuff he got to fix, man. Because
That's not it.
no means no, man. But it it's a weird situation, man. Like I don't know, man, and like. But the internet has
It's
been
crazy just thinking about it.
it's crazy.
Like thinking about the possibility of him getting turned down. So you're like, oh,
So I'm gonna shoot you in the foot.
I'm gonna give you a foot shot real quick.
Yeah. But bottom line, I think the most important thing is that there's no way in hell that Meg Thee Stallion should have been shot in her damn foot, man.
Right.
That's ridiculous. That's unacceptable. And everything will come to light when it needs to come to light. So, we'll find that out when we're supposed to.
All right.
As far as other news, what else is going on? I guess we got to talk about entanglements, man.
Everybody new favorite word.
Everybody new favorite word, entanglements, man. So I guess the big talk or whatever outside of the Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez situation is Will Smith, August Alsina, and Jada basically coming clean on her Red Table Talk about actually having an affair with August Alsina. I guess they were saying that at the time. Yeah, at the time, I guess they were saying that they weren't together. But she said, and then I had an entanglement with Alsina. That's
all BS.
It's crazy how, oh man, she made that seem so damn smooth saying entanglement,
She thinks she's slick. It didn't start as no friendship. We don't. No, I ain't believing that.
Oh man,
I'm not believing it.
Jada caught a lot of hell, and I ain't gonna lie. From my perspective, I had an issue with Jada as well. From that, again, looking from the surface level, because I don't know these people, but I had an issue because August Alsina did have like a lot of mental health issues, but also didn't he have like physical issues as well, pertaining to like drug usage? I don't know if it was drug usage or stuff like that or whatever. But he was going through a tough time or whatever, and I think that happened to be the particular time where he was kind of leaning on Jada, and Jada actually, that's when she had the affair with him outside of her marriage with Will Smith. And I think if the roles were reversed, if a man had manipulated a younger woman at that age at a time when he was having a difficult time with his wife, I definitely do think that Will would have been demonized in the media.
Oh yeah.
And there are some double standards when it comes to infidelity as far as men and women are concerned. And we definitely saw that play out with the whole thing and the whole entanglement thing. And oh my goodness, the internet is running crazy with this whole entanglement word, man.
The internet is running crazy with this situation.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, the funniest meme I seen, and rest in peace to Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
But they like, when you realize if you kill her for cheating, she just gonna go be with Tupac.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, y'all people are out of pocket. Out of pocket.
Oh man. The best thing and the worst thing about the internet is the fact that it really is free speech. Like the First Amendment, like to the
max. Amplified.
up 50K. It's ridiculous. And we have to always be mindful about these people are still human beings, so they see this stuff, and I know it's gotta make them feel away. And so, we don't want anybody to hurt behind this, but sometimes, you get in the midst of, you start scrolling, you start looking at Twitter, you start scrolling Instagram, you start retweeting, you start looking at the stuff, and it just catches you. And sometimes that stuff, it could be so hilarious, man. And that one about, oh my goodness, that I feel so bad for laughing at it, but that meme definitely had me in tears.
I had the nerve to have a picture of her and Tupac hugged up.
Oh my goodness!
I'm like, y'all people ain't right.
I didn't see that one, man.
People was not right.
Come on, man. Stop making me laugh at that stuff.
The craziest part of it all, this man August go and drop a diss track.
You know what? I didn't.
And then throw Ricky Rose on it.
I told you this morning I was gonna listen to the track. You said, you was like, Unc, man, listen to the track. I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to it. Like, it's time got away from me or whatever, and I didn't listen to the track. But that
man August said The definition of entanglement is being tangled in the sheets. Oh no, he done lost it.
In all fairness, do you think August is kind of using it to his advantage as far as
Oh yeah,
marketing, maybe a market employee trying to take it and run with it or whatever for publicity,
has to.
for trying to make good publicity out of it?
Yeah, he got to, cause he not really a name in music no more.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't made music in a while.
Yeah.
So he got all this attention on him. He
Yeah.
got to hurry up and drop a track while he can, and people gonna actually listen to it.
Yeah.
Cause he hot right now.
Let me ask you this: do you think that him coming out and admitting that he had an entanglement with he didn't use that word entanglement, but him having relations with Jada, do you think he purposely may have came out and said it for publicity, for some attention? Do you think that that's a possibility?
Yeah, I definitely feel like he did. Cause why would you do it? One, it wasn't play at all.
Yeah.
If that is what happened.
Personally, I wouldn't have went to the general public talking about something that happened with me and Jada Pinkett or whatever. Especially if I consider Will Smith a friend and I actually did that. Bottom line,
especially if you know there's somebody that has a name for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like that wouldn't play at all.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to go out there like that.
And then the whole thing about talking about I could die right now, I'm in love with her and all this stuff or whatever.
Real weird.
That's not a move that I would ever make.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. And if you really feel a special way about somebody, even if it goes the wrong way or whatever, it's really about that. It's not about exposing that situation to the general public, especially when everybody has something to lose. But you know what, though? He didn't have nothing to lose out the situation. Everybody else around him did but him.
He didn't have nothing to lose because he irrelevant now. Well,
yeah.
He dropped the entanglement track. He might get a little traction going.
Now, sonically, was the song good or bad? How did it sound?
Rick Ross did Rick Ross on it. Rick Ross, he performed. So
Ross had a decent 16, but that's it. The song didn't sound good.
The song was trash. I mean, it sounds solid, but it's trash.
Y'all let us know too in the comments. We're gonna be dropping this episode in totality tomorrow. So when we put it on the 95 podcast page, you guys let us know how you feel about it. But I didn't hear the song. I'm gonna give it a check later and see how it sounds. But
it's like if it wasn't Rick Ross rapping, it was comedy to me.
Really?
Yeah.
It was that bad?
I mean, not even that bad, but you really drop a song called Entanglement, like you just gonna take it and run with it. And then that what I just said, that was what opened up the song, like the first lyrics of the song, definition of entanglement.
That's how he starts it off?
Like that's the first thing he says on the song.
Oh man. Yeah, that's
what you call messy.
For me, that's corny as hell.
Messy.
I think the biggest loser in this situation, I think, is Will Smith. I think that's who my feelings as a human being go to is him because, you know, it seems as if Will Smith seems to be a genuinely good dude. He wants to be a good father, a good husband and stuff. And it just, this situation seems to have really bothered him. And in fact, I really feel like he shouldn't have went on the Red Table podcast to talk with Jada about it. I really feel like you on your own. You know?
Already played me doing it. Yeah. Now you're gonna play me to the public.
Yeah, you go have this discussion with the world or whatever. I have my personal opinions on the situation, but you know,
Will definitely hurt behind the situation though.
Yeah,
you could tell by little segments in the Red Table. Like, didn't they end it by saying like something like bad marriage for life or something like that?
Kind of like the
Bad Boys.
The Bad Boys, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. I just feel like he trying to look like he rolling with it, but he really hurt behind all of it.
Everybody's gonna, you know,
and he got played.
People have their opinions or whatever, whether staying or going, whatever. But sometimes relationships and situations run their course, and that might have been a situation where they both might have been better off if they would have left at some point.
Right.
Because there's no need to force something that is no longer there. Now, if it's something there and you're trying to fight to fix it, that's one thing. But if you just stand just to stay, that doesn't benefit either person. So, I guess entanglement's all 2020, man.
No hot girl summer, it's entanglement summer.
The summers change fast, man. The themes for summers change real fast.
I think this one might last a little bit. I'm feeling like this one's gonna last a little bit.
Oh man, that's crazy, man. Moving on, man. Moving on to sports. Coronavirus is still real. We want to encourage everybody to continue to mask up, social distance. Different. We have a lot of fans from different states and cities across the country that are in different phases. Some in phase 2, 3, 4, or whatnot. Some have cases that are steady. Some have cases that are rising. But just try to do your best to be mindful of people who are immune deficient, people who are older. Mask up. Try to social distance. Um, Try to do your best to protect yourself while we're still in the midst of this madness. With that being said, sports are trying to reopen back up. You got Major League Baseball starting the season July 23rd. That's later on this week. You got the NBA resuming in the bubble in Disney World July 30th, and the NFL training camp set to open on July 28th. First thing in hand, do you think we're even going to have a season?
For which sport?
All three.
I do think.
Start off with, well, baseball looks the most promising.
I feel. Well, yeah. I don't know.
It looks like
baseball looks the most promising.
Yeah.
It's starting the soonest.
You got a couple of guys sitting out. You got Michael Kopech for the White Sox sitting out. You got Buster Posey decided he's going to sit out. He just had twin girls, so he's not playing. You got a couple of guys sitting out. You got a couple of guys that have tested positive for COVID-19. Yasiel Puig, he just signed the deal, and then he tested positive, so he's not going to end up playing. You got a couple of guys that are sitting out voluntarily, and then you got a couple of guys who are testing positive and stuff. So it looks like baseball's good for a go. Basketball, you got guys testing positive here and there, whatever. And it seems like a lot of the NBA guys are like asymptomatic or whatever. They're just testing positive, and it's like, damn, they got to sit out, and they don't even know they've got it, you know?
Yeah, I think it's looking the ugliest for football.
I think so too, because it matters. It's a contact sport. The weather change,
the contact sport.
Yeah, you're going into respiratory illness season with it being in the fall. The full contact, and we all know that NFL is essentially Americana. That's the sport that everybody probably wants to see come back the most.
That's
but
facts.
the actual nature of how American football is played, this could be trouble for it. Like Russell Wilson issued a statement where he's concerned about the NFL's how they're handling the testing and the protocols and stuff, because he says Sierra's pregnant. He's concerned. A couple of other guys issued some concerns. I think Odell Beckham put something out this morning about it. I think baseball's going to have a season. I think it's a question mark about the NFL.
I definitely think it's a question mark for the NFL.
And the NFL creates a lot of bad press because they make it look like it's all about the money for them. Every time they do something, is definitely about the bottom line with them. Every time Goodell does something,
it's about what's more important for them, and obviously the money.
Mm-hmm.
I would hate to see the NFL season not come back, though.
I definitely would, man. I definitely would, but I don't want to see guys get sick or whatever as well. So I don't know, man. Going this long without sports, I didn't think I could do it because
Me either.
Sports is like my life. But it's crazy times. I'm kind of speechless as far as this is concerned, but it's definitely crazy times.
Because it's hard to believe that you potentially not gonna get a season. You never have to worry about not seeing a football game in October.
Yeah,
never have to worry about
college or NFL. You can go to your old high school. You could see them play. You could turn up Saturdays. You could. What we do? We watch Michigan. Then we watch Big Ten. Then we stay up.
Catch them.
Have a few beers. Then you watch the primetime games. Then we stay up, have a few beers. Watch Pac-12 after dark.
Our Saturdays and Sundays is.
You know how we do. We hang out to
football.
We hang out till about 12, 1 o'clock watching games. Take it in. Wake up, start making our fantasy lineups. Then we do it all again for the pros on Sunday.
What our weekend's gonna look like in the fall?
Man, I don't know, man.
I don't even know if family Sunday is gonna be the same. We normally watch football, watch the Bears, go out and kick it on Sundays.
It's so weird.
That might affect it.
It's so weird. Today I had my baseball fantasy draft like about an hour before I came in here, and it's weird. It's weird as hell having my fantasy draft on a Sunday in July. This is usually like when the pennant race starts to get
Right.
get going. So like I had a fantasy baseball draft literally a month before I'm supposed to have my NFL fantasy draft. It's different times right now with this whole coronavirus stuff going on. I swear it is.
I hate it. Absolutely.
Me too. Me too.
And if football season get canceled, it's just I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself.
As far as the NBA, whoever takes the O'Brien Trophy, do you think it'll matter, or do you think it'll be an asterisk?
I mean, to me, it won't matter.
It won't matter.
It won't matter. It's the championship team. It's a lot to go into that. You don't get to test the longevity of the team because they just had a off season in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not the same. It's not the same playing the whole 82 games in a row, and then everybody already gassed. But we about to see what teams got that second win. We not getting none of that. We basically starting over a new season without actually starting over. What is it? 8 games to play into the playoffs and then the actual playoffs. Like it's not the same at all.
I would say the sport that's probably going to benefit the most if they handle it properly is Major League Baseball, because they're going with what, a shortened season, 60 games. The complaint with baseball has always been the season is way too long with 162 games.
All right.
So with them playing a shortened schedule, if I will say this too, it's going to be a struggle because one of the best things about baseball is seeing it live, going to the ball game, going to Comiskey, going to Wrigley. You know, that's something we like to do. Partying, you know, throw a couple back, eat good, watch the games, hot summer day. You don't get to do that now because of the whole coronavirus thing, right? So that definitely makes it take a ding, right? But outside of that, with them having a shortened season, the other sports going on or whatever, everybody's thirsty for sports. That it might help it. I think baseball might benefit the most, and they make the least amount of contact with each other.
Right.
As opposed to basketball and football where guys are touching and rubbing against each other like twice as much.
Right. With that shortened the 60-game season, I get what you're saying because it's like they can go out and play at their highest level for 60 games.
Yeah.
As opposed to 100+ games. It's like that wear and tear on your body. You're gonna be a lot more in shape at the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Well, not in shape, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Because the Major League Baseball season is a gauntlet, man.
Yeah.
You know, you start in April, it's cold. You get going by July, you in the dog days of summer, you tired. August, here come the pennant race. Boom. October's here, here's the playoffs. It's cold again.
Right.
World Series, end of October. Then you got like what, 4 months to 3.5 months to chill. Like baseball, it wears you the hell out, man. Yeah, man.
Basically, yeah, I see what you're saying though. At the end of that 60-game season, people still gonna be able to play at a high rate and still have some on their tank.
And the games are gonna matter. Like, think about all the
every game's gonna matter. No garbage series, no series you could just throw away.
In a regular Major League Baseball season, think about all the games that guys kind of like lollygag or whatever, or you got like just games that really don't matter in like May and June, right? You're not gonna have that with 60 games. You gotta go hard, man. Starting pitchers gotta have good starts. You know what I'm saying? Relievers gotta come through. You have to have everybody has to come full throttle. They gotta really take it serious with a 60-game Major League Baseball season.
Yeah, there's no series that could just be thrown away.
Facts.
You got to go out and play your hardest against the weakest teams you're gonna play. Yeah, because you might need that series on the back end.
Facts.
I'm entertained. I'm excited to see what goes on. I definitely hope my boys come through and do something. Yeah, they went and spent them a little bit of money in free agency this year.
Yeah, I was depressed with how Corona affected us. As far as I was really excited for what the White Sox were going to do this year. So they still look good, man. They're showing them inter-squad games. Luis Robert look good. Shout out to my boy Timmy Anderson. He looked good.
My boy TA.
Man, TA look good, man. I'm TA. I need you to come through the podcast, man.
Then we got Dallas.
Yeah,
he might throw us some heaters in there.
Man, yeah, because they signed up to that 1-year deal. I wish they would have given him a little bit more, but yeah, man, they beefed up the pitching staff. It sucks that Kopech's not going to pitch because he decided to sit out because of Corona. But I don't know, man. We'll see if they could do something, man.
We got what's the name coming off his best season from the Dodgers. Why his name not coming to me? Yeah, Yasmani.
Oh, Grandal.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he came from the Brewers.
Nah, that was the Dodgers.
Oh, Grandal, he was with the Brewers last year.
He was with the Brewers last year.
Yeah.
He played for the Padres, then to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Then you're right.
So yeah, we'll see, man. Moving on, man. Summer's halfway through. It's been an unusual summer. Let's get to fashion, man. What's your sneaker rotation looking like, man? And what you looking for as far as the fall is concerned? What's your main sneaker right now?
I'm wearing a lot of my ones right now.
Mm-hmm. Talking about Jordan ones?
Yeah, Jordan ones.
Yeah, I noticed you've been kind of ODing on them a little lately.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't really a fan of them until I got a couple pairs, started wearing them.
Mm-hmm.
Super comfortable. Your foot don't get hot in them.
Mm-hmm.
They got a million colorways, so you got a color for whatever you want to put on.
Mm-hmm.
That's been my shoe for, I'd say, like the last month and a half.
Mm.
Been wearing a lot of Jordan ones.
Mm.
And then I picked up a pair of Crocs. I'm not gonna lie. I might have to go grab a neutral, like grab the white, grab the gray.
I'm in here with a pair of Crocs on right now. Shout out to Crocs, man.
I was sleeping on them.
Man,
now I can't take them off.
They like a cash cow, man. Crocs been crazy for years. When I was working in college, I was a manager at this shoe store. I was assistant manager at the shoe store, and the Crocs used to like sell off the shelves. This is like 06, 07 or whatever. And I never really like understood the hype or whatever. I thought they were kind of hunky dory, kind of like too country or whatever. I never put my feet in them. So a couple of years ago, around 2016, 2017, I needed some new slides or whatever for work. Something that I could put on when I was on the train or whatever.
Right.
So I was at Marshall's just looking for something. And I bought some Crocs. And they were like $20, man. It felt so good when I started wearing them because it's like the actual shoe kind of like molds onto your foot. It feels so comfortable, man. It's the most comfortable slide I've ever had. The rubber's very durable. I swear by Crocs, bro.
And it took me a while. I didn't toe up enough pair of Nike slides to realize the good from the bad.
And the Nike slides are just so...
They comfortable for while you wearing them, but they don't last
They
at all.
don't last. They stretch out. The thing always... The strap always pop. It's a terrible slide. It really is.
I know you've been running some slides and you had that front fold on
and
you.
And the fold... Oh, my...
Talk about hurt. I done lost so many pair of slides like that.
And today we sipping on... we kind of... took a little break from the Henny. Pierre Ferrand. How you pronounce it? Pierre Ferrand. Hey, if you guys, anybody out here that are cognac sippers, check out that Pierre Ferrand. It's a nice, smooth yak. Very smooth. I actually had it yesterday. I was smoking on a Churchill, a David off Churchill. Smooth. Good. Is drink it straight. You don't need any type of chaser. Drink it neat. It's a very, very smooth yak. You'll end up feeling good in the morning. So
I can vouch.
Yeah. This your first time having it too?
Yeah, it's my first time.
Yeah, it's good. But as far as my sneaker rotation, I haven't really, with us not really being able to go anywhere and stuff, and not really being able to go out of town. A lot of trips got canceled and stuff. I really didn't OD on sneakers this summer. So I've been just low top crazy for real. Just been doing the Yeezy 350s, doing my 700s, and I caught a pair of some Bron 7s. That's one of my favorite sneakers all time. Caught them on sale on Nike. Been wearing them, man. I'm so tempted because I know things are starting to open back up that I'm going to start getting my basketball runs in. I'm so tempted not to wear them because that's my favorite basketball shoe ever. But it's also a good street sneaker. So I've been rolling with that and rolling with my Yeezys. And after what Yeezy said today, I probably need to retire them. But it sucks.
He said some more wild stuff.
Oh, my goodness. Yeezy said some crazy stuff
He's
today.
always caught saying something wild like that. What'd he say?
Just 2 hours ago, before we decided to record this episode, Yeezy he was somewhere, I think in South Carolina or whatever, I guess promoting his run for the presidency. Yeah. He ended up saying that Harriet Tubman didn't free the slaves. He just free them up to work for other white people. It's really some nonsense, man. But it's at the point where you know what, we just need to pray for the brother, man. But he's gotta get out the way because it's been a lot of progress made in the last couple of months, and people like that are really getting in the way of the
It's
people
like
that's
he trying to
really.
make us go backwards or something.
It's like that, but it's also like he's looking for attention as well. It's
But
whack.
what kind of attention does Yeezy need to look for?
Yeah,
It's like he got any attention that he wanted if he actually wanted.
that's the actual point, bro. That's the point. That's the point. How do you feel about what the ladies been wearing this summer?
A bunch of lucha libres, a whole bunch of
Man,
what's his name, Rey Mysterios and all type of stuff. They get wilder and wilder with the
yo,
creativity of their outfits now,
yo.
and I don't like it.
Now I'm gonna be honest. I'm a fan. I've been a fan of the legging era for years, right? I like the legging era. Summertime, I love the sundress. I love the sundress era.
And that's the problem. All these biker shorts been pushing the sundresses out. I ain't seen one sundress all year.
You know what? I've seen a few sundresses, but I haven't seen a lot. But one thing I would say is I am tired of chicks coming out the crib looking like fucking Owen Hart. I'm sick of with the whole
With the one piece,
with the one
rump.
piece with the one piece with the straps over the shoulders. Then they got the whole little like legging short setup or whatever, but it's all like one piece.
And then they had the
Man.
nerve to make them long sleeve. They got the one piece pants and the shorts.
It's like they either gonna be race car drivers or they gonna fight for the Intercontinental Championship. It's one or the other, man.
One thing I do like a little bit.
The
I like
ladies, y'all been lacking this year on the fashion this summer, man.
I like the little biker shorts, and then they dress it up with.
I love those.
They dress it up with whatever shirt and shoes
Yeah,
combo.
nice little shirt shoes combo, and then
Yeah.
you could do a nice. The ladies could do a nice little slide with it, or they can make it athletic. They can do like a little thick sock look with a nice little low top like a Yeezy or something like that.
And then they you gotta have the right pair of sunglasses to go with it.
Yeah,
They all got the spectacular sunglasses now.
but yeah, this
That's like part of the fit.
But this whole Heart Foundation looking like you from Stampede Wrestling or whatever, you're gonna be on the next episode of Dark Side of the Ring, man. Come on, man.
Have you seen like the new little leggings they wearing now?
What's the new
I think they
leggings?
call it like stacked or something like. It's like a lot at the bottom of it, like around the ankle. I think they call it stacked leggings. It's stacked something.
Stack leggings. I'm gonna Google that when we
You
finish
got
the
to.
episode.
I like that little look, and then when they put it with the right shoes, it's a little decent.
Stack leggings.
Yeah.
Oh man. Stack leggings. Nah, I haven't noticed it, man. But you know what? We got it. We can't crucify the ladies too much. It's been rough with the whole Rona thing. It's kept people in the house so long that, it has probably affected us as how we look on the aesthetic level when we come outside. So let's cut the ladies a little slack. But yeah, give up the wrestler look, please. Little transition. Let's go to culture, man. One conversation that me and you had that I think is a really important conversation is we talk about GOATs a lot. Like on this podcast, we talk a lot about GOATs in sports, quarterbacks. We talk about GOATs as far as basketball, with MJ versus LeBron. And we talk about GOATs as far as music and rap is concerned. And one of the conversations that me and you had personally was that we both agree to an extent, with us both being from different generations, with you being a Gen Z and me being a millennial guy, is we agree that Jay-Z, for the most part, is either, if he's not the GOAT, he is up there in the GOAT discussion, right?
Of course.
And it's crazy because most generations have a GOAT. Like, if you ask somebody that's from Gen X, they might say Rakim is the GOAT. Or a younger Gen X guy might say Nas or Jay is the GOAT. You ask somebody younger than that, they might say LL is the GOAT. You ask people that are younger than you, a lot of times they'll say Future is their GOAT, right? So we have that point where we cross we agree. Well, you know what I'm saying? Our generations cross each other, and we kind of feel that Jay is definitely in the GO conversation. Either he's up there or he is that, right?
Yeah.
But what's crazy is we disagree because we saw two different Jays. So, like, you were telling me what your favorite Jay-Z albums were, and I was like, what? And it's not like these were bad albums, but it's like I look at a different Jay and I saw a different Jay. So it's certain albums that resonate more with me than resonate more with you.
Right.
So one thing I told you to bring to the table today is that I want you to tell me your three best J albums, and then I was going to tell you my three best J albums, and we're just going to discuss the differences, but also the similarities of how we feel about that discussion.
Yeah.
So,
and when you told me that, I didn't even have to think about it.
really,
You say 3, I already knew them. Like, could have told you yesterday.
what's your three best J albums in order from your favorite, what you think is the best or your favorite, to the third favorite?
So from the best to the third favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I gotta hit y'all with the Blueprint 3.
Now, that's crazy because a lot of people in my generation are not big Blueprint 3 fans.
I could listen to the Blueprint 3 5 times a day if I wanted to.
Really?
I actually just had a Jay-Z day at work. I'd say like 3-4 days ago. Well, I didn't listen to anything but Jay-Z.
That's dope as hell.
That's how I keep myself. It's like I track my time at work when I'm doing that. After you go through one album, it's like, oh, that's already an hour and a half down, 2 hours down, you know?
Yeah.
So I devote days to certain people, and I listen to certain music on certain days. So to number 2.
So Blueprint 3 is your favorite Jay-Z album?
Favorite Jay all time.
Oh, wow. And that's a good album. Jay never made a bad album.
All right.
But so Blueprint 3 is your favorite.
Yeah.
And what's your next two?
American Gangsters 2.
That's a great pick. That's a damn great pick.
American Gangsters 2. And then 3 to Magna Carta.
Magna Carta, Holy Grail?
Yeah.
What's crazy is Magna Carta, Holy Grail was a damn good album.
That's my third favorite.
Ooh. Tell me your reasoning for Blueprint 3 being your favorite. Was it the beats? Was it the actual tracks? Was it the features? Because he did have a lot of features. He had
He had
Cudi,
Kanye.
He had Kanye.
Pharrell.
He had Kanye twice too. He had Kanye twice.
Swiss Beats.
He had Cudi. He had him and Swiss killed that the joint. Yeah, on to the next one. He had Cudi on there. He had Cole on there.
Pharrell was on there.
Pharrell was on there. Alicia Keys with the
Alicia.
NY State of Mind joint.
My reasoning for that being number one, I'll say it's 3 albums that I'll probably never forget.
Yeah.
For their own different reasons, and that was one of them. It's like at the time of him dropping that, I was just growing up and being able to like have my own favorites, and you know, I was growing up a little bit. So that's like one of the first albums that I listened to and like actually listen to it, not listen to it because somebody else is playing it.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the first albums I was actively listening to, and it just always stuck with me. And the other 2 are just crazy albums.
Now, what's crazy is I wanted to ask you how you feel about why you feel the way you feel about American Gangster, because American Gangster is definitely within my top 5 or whatever, and that's one that we definitely agree on.
I think he was in his bag when
he was in it. He was in his
he was in a
bag.
different kind of bag. He was in like his Louis duffel when he was in the studio with that one. And I feel like I love that one so much, partly because of the movie. I love the movie.
American Gangster.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
And
anything Denzel touches is great, by the way. But
it's like
except for John Q.
Every song on that was a banger. Yeah. You can still listen to it.
Yeah.
The what's the song? The High Life. The Hello Brooklyn with Wayne.
Yeah.
It's like you can't go wrong listening to anything on that.
Rock Boys.
Rock Boys and
Ignorant Shit. With then he added Beanie to the song. Party Life. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite J's. My 3 J's, and I'll be showing my age, but that's part of this discussion. My 3 J's, Blueprint 1.
Yeah.
Definitely. Blueprint 1 is number 1 for me. Number 2, I gotta say, Reasonable Doubt, and the third one is hard because Jaden, for it was years where Jaden really didn't miss. He really didn't miss until like Blueprint, Blueprint 2. But number 3, it's between Volume 2 and Black Album, but I guess I'm gonna go with the Black Album.
I knew the Black Album was gonna be up there.
Yeah,
The Black Album is number 4 in my book.
he was. You know, what's crazy is I tell people this a lot of times. Black Album, Reasonable Doubt, and American Gangster, as far as the tempo and the expression that what he's feeling in his soul, as far as how he feels being in the game or getting out the game, are all the same albums. American Gangster, Reasonable Doubt, and Black Album. And it's like those 3 are like kind of the same as far as like where he's coming out from his soul, is about what he feels about hustling and being in the game.
The
and
kind of
stuff
bag
like
he was in,
yeah,
similar.
Yeah,
They give you a similar vibe.
even look at the covers. All 3 of them, they all have that dark cover, like that dark black cover. Like all 3 of them are like really like the same album essentially. But yeah, those are my 3 albums, and my reason for that is Blueprint 1. It was like he was basically like Jordan in 96 or whatever. 72, and he was like 72 and 10 Jordan on that. Like he couldn't miss. He still was young enough to dunk on dudes, but he had to fade away, you know.
Yeah.
The production on Blueprint 1 was just insane. Rockefeller in itself as a movement was in that bag or whatever. Them in 2001 was what QC is like right now.
Right.
Just, Kanye, Guru, they were in their bag as well. So Blueprint 1 for that reason, just everybody was at their zenith. Reasonable Doubt because it's the one that started it, and it was like the first piece of work that he made when his rap style kind of changed to him not rapping as fast or whatever, and it was his introduction to the world. And Black Album was because it was like Mike last shot. You know, he retired. You know, he was taking a break, and it was a culmination of everything from his rise and everything that he put into it. And nothing sounded like that at that time because 50 was hot around that time in 03. 50 was hot. The South was on the rise. T.I. was like right around the corner. Jeezy was like about 2 years away. Nobody was sounding like that, and it was like a magnum opus for him to go into his little hiatus, to go into his little break. So yeah, those are my 3.
Even his albums with other people were albums better than the average person.
Yes.
The Watch the Throne.
Yeah.
Him and Ye went crazy on that.
Man, they went crazy on Watch the Throne.
That's right before Ye fell out with me.
Yeah.
That's when he still had a little bit of sense and could make good music.
Watch the Throne, but also
the Carters with
Wifey,
with Beyonce.
Yeah. Shout out to B. We are definitely pro ladies. We are definitely pro Beehive. So just letting y'all know, he was in his bag on that, and even on the R. Kelly joints or whatever. And you can say what you want about R. Kelly. They made some damn good music together.
R. Kelly is the R&B GOAT.
I
the
think
king of R&B.
If you want to just talk about
not the backstory, not their personal
not the
life,
stuff,
just off the music.
Let's because that's a whole different discussion. But as far as the music is concerned, if R. Kelly had a versus today, I really don't know who would beat him. Maybe
Usher.
No, Usher's not beating R. Kelly.
He can compete.
He's not beating R. Kelly.
He can compete.
And this is where we talk about the divide between Gen Z and Gen X. I mean, Gen Z and millennials.
That man can compete.
If you're looking for somebody to compete with R. Kelly, I think you would have to go further back generation wise. I think you would have to start talking about guys like maybe like Smokey Robinson or like Michael Jackson, Prince. You gotta start talking about guys like that if you want to get somebody to beat Kells, I think. As far as this generation, I really don't. Maybe Usher could come close, but Usher I don't think is in that discussion with Kells. Mm-hmm. And like this is the thing with those verses. Are we talking about features as well, or just actual songs that are attributed to his albums?
I mean, Yeah, no features. No features. A song that's made by them.
Because
Their song.
because if you're talking features, then you start talking about stuff like Fiesta, and you start talking about Hotel with Cass. You start talking about, you open up Pandora's box for him to just
Yeah.
have all these
Have his
tools to
way.
work with. He could have his way. Like he could start doing like MJ and like taking free throws with his eyes closed and stuff. So before we conclude, man, our last little discussion that we was having as far as eras are concerned, we were talking about GOATs, and then we started to talk about Michael Jackson versus Chris Brown. As far as,
Don't look at me like that, man.
yeah, I had to.
You know what's going on over there.
Man, I had to look at you like that. I had to look at you like that. So, you think that Chris Breezy, and I'm a big Breezy fan, by the way. You think Breezy is better than Mike Jack?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm gonna give you a couple brief reasons why.
Okay, because we gotta hit this.
They both got half scars against their career or whatever. Mike had his little situations going on.
Mm-hmm.
Chris got his situations going on. So just block their situations out right now. Not talking about their problems because they both had them.
Okay.
So they equal right there.
Okay.
In a dance battle, Chris Brown would kill that man. As cold as Mike was with the feet and the moonwalking, he had it. But it's so much more Chris can do. There's many more dances that have been made for Chris to do than it was for Mike to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he would kill Mike in a dance battle.
I would give you this. The evolution of dance has gotten better because of people pioneering and doing things. So new moves have been made or whatever. So when that happens, do you penalize the guy who wasn't around to learn the new moves?
Not at all.
Because I would argue that crumping and stuff is something that Mike would easily be able to do if he was a 25-year-old guy when that type of dance was coming out, right?
Yeah, and I got that same kind of argument for people that argue basketball like that.
Yeah.
Not to get into that conversation, but
Yeah.
yeah, they didn't have moves back then, so put them against Curry, they can't stay in front of him. I'm like, okay.
Now I would say this too.
I do get that, but not holding it against them. But it's like you can't give it to them either because they didn't have it.
What about this argument though? There is no Breezy without Mike Jack.
For sure. I wouldn't even try to argue that.
Yeah.
That's not even a smart or logical argument to make.
Yeah.
No Chris Brown without Mike.
Okay, so let's talk catalogs. Now, I don't know how well, like I know both of their catalogs really well because I grew up on Michael Jackson, but also I'm a big Breezy fan. So I've been a big Breezy fan since day one. Let's talk catalogs. I don't know how well you know Michael Jackson. What do you think is his best album for you that you like the most?
I mean, I feel like
and if you
can't
don't know
really
albums,
put anything over the Thriller album.
If you don't know albums, give me the songs that you think Michael Jackson was really good with. Give me a couple of songs.
Let me go look them up right now.
Because I see that this is the thing. So we talk about the dancing aspect, right?
Yep.
I would say they're even on dancing. Now, as far as musical catalogs, Mike, as far as you talk about commercial success, and some people don't want to talk about that, but if you talk about commercial success, Mike definitely wins, but it's a different era as well. I'll give you that. But if you talk about actual catalogs and actual songs, Mike catalog is better than Breezy's.
Breezy's catalog is like forever.
Mike's is like forever.
No, you can't add an extra forever on my forever.
It's Mike though.
I feel like Brown, his catalog is larger. How many compare the number of studio albums? Chris Brown dropped more.
Well, you got to understand too.
He had a short career.
Music was manufactured different back in the 80s and the 90s because you didn't have the digital era. So in the digital era, you have to work a little bit harder. That's why Chris Breezy has these albums where he has like 40, 45 songs on them or whatever, because it's about how you put the content out and your ability to try to get out as much as possible, whatever. That is the type of process he had decided to go with in order for him to continue to be successful as things have changed. But back in the day, it was more of a scarcity creates value type of mode of doing things. So the really good artists from the 80s, the Princes, the Sade's, the Michael Jacksons, what they would do is they would make an album and they would wait maybe 2 to 4 years before they released another album. And what they would do is they would take that album that they would release multiple singles, sometimes 4, 5 singles. Over the course of a year and a half, they would make a domestic tour, and then they would make a world tour. And they would basically stretch one album from 1 to 3 years. And they would try to milk the album and make as much money off of the album from sales, from touring, from every aspect that they could as much as possible. And then they would take a break, and then you would have the build up. When's the next one coming? When's the next one coming?
Right.
And that would get everybody hyped or whatever. So that model no longer works or whatever because physical sales of albums are no longer relevant. So your way of, and also too, they're no longer gatekeepers anymore. You don't have the record labels or whatever. So anybody can get themselves out there in the general public. So the people who are out there or whatever, their best way of staying relevant before the next new thing comes, and the next new thing comes every 5 minutes. Their way of doing it now is to release as much stuff as possible. Mm-hmm. Change your styles as things change as much as possible. Stay your ass out there in the general public. That is the model now. So when you're comparing those models, it is kind of hard to kind of compare, but to say that that's where you got to be like, okay, what's the quality of them, the catalogs? And I would say that the quality itself kind of leans towards Mike.
I mean, I don't know, because you could go in Chris Brown and you could list off like 4 or 5 albums that you would still listen to this day, but they came out a long time ago.
Does Breezy have an album better than Thriller?
Don't make me answer that question. Because he don't. But that's okay. Different though.
Okay. Does Breezy have an album better than Off the Wall?
Yeah, he do.
What?
Fame.
Fame ain't better than Off the Wall.
It is.
And Fame is my favorite Breezy album.
Yeah, it is.
Fame ain't better than Off the Wall.
Yeah, it is.
My OGs. Y'all hear my YG? He just said Fame is better than Off the Wall. I want to hear y'all comments when we drop the episode tomorrow, but
I don't know if I want to hear the comments. They might be trying to beat me up down there.
But you know what? You got a lot of fans, man. A lot of your youngins, the youngins, they support you. They might come to your defense and say, "Oh, gee, you tripping? Your old ass tripping, man." So I mean, but
you could go down Chris' catalog and name all 5 very valid albums, and that's just 5 of them.
Oh no, not very valid. They're very good.
The Royalty album. X. Fortune. Chris Brown. Just Chris Brown.
I didn't like Fortune.
You didn't?
No, because he should have let Fame marinate a little bit more. He came out with Fortune like a couple of months after he released his like last few singles off of Fame. And Fortune really, it had the strip joint. It had
some bops on it.
It was a little
Sweet Love.
It was
Don't Judge Me. 2012. It was some hits on that.
Fortune was a little lukewarm to me.
I mean, I don't know. I can't really say that.
But Fame is my favorite Chris album, no doubt. But it's not fucking Off the Wall.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree.
So does Breezy have a better album, better than Dangerous? With I'm Bad,
right.
With that.
I thought
Dirty
that was
Diana, all that
on the actual Bad album.
Oh yeah. Dangerous was 91. I'm sorry. So I do think that Breezy does have an album better than Dangerous. I do, and that's when Mike was kind of he was in his Fortune era. He was kind of like figuring some stuff out. Styles were changing, but then he ended up dropping the History, the double CD with History or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Bad. Does Breezy have an album better than Bad?
Breezy doesn't have an album better than Bad.
Okay.
But those are those are Mike's 1 and 2.
I respect your honesty.
Back to back.
I respect your ability to be honest.
Yeah, that's his 1 and 2.
Okay.
Now falling behind that's when Breezy start catching them.
Whoa.
That's when he start catching them. He start gaining some ground. Because Fame creeping right in there behind that, in my opinion. It was straight hits on Fame. Deuces.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Me Now. Everybody love that song. I still play that song when I get bored enough to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, sometimes you get tired of listening to what you're listening to. Now you want to go back a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Fame and Fortune are the two albums that I go back to by Breezy the most.
I would say the Breezy albums that I go back to the most definitely have to be Fame. Oh, that's tough.
And I'm not
Because
gonna
I
lie
like
to
the
y'all.
second album.
I still ain't listened to all 40 of them songs on that one album. I couldn't
Heartbreak
do
on
it.
the Full Moon?
I couldn't do it.
Man.
I probably made it through like 20. I couldn't do no more.
It took me a year to get through Heartbreak on the Full Moon.
It might be some bops on that I missed,
was
but
so many.
I just couldn't get back to it.
It was, and this is
That was what Tempo was on,
and this
right?
is where we talk
Tempo
about.
was on there?
This is where we talk about the scarcity creates value model, because when you have albums, look at Illmatic with 10 tracks, look at Graduation from The Nut, Kanye, 13 tracks. When you have albums that are between 10 and 14 tracks and they're all good,
enjoy them
you
more.
can enjoy them, you'll never forget them, right?
Yeah.
But when you have, like, we all know a great Future mixtape or Dipset mixtape or a G-Unit mixtape from 5, 10, 15 years ago that we adored when it dropped and we listened to it front to back. But now we don't remember it because it had 21, 22 tracks. And that's where you have, when you start to overload, it's hard to remember every single piece on an album.
Now that's where I feel like our generation's clash at right there. Because you don't like the longer albums and mixtapes.
But I come from the era where it came out. Like in the late 90s, that's when you started having these albums that were 18, 19, 21, 22 tracks. And then you started having deluxe albums released the year after. I come from that era. But when the digital era started to go crazy around 04, 05, and you started having guys start to scale down, that's when I started to realize, whoa, this is kind of better because I'm listening to a song more and I'm starting to digest certain songs even more, and I'm appreciating them a little bit more.
Now, I like it more for this reason. Now, that 40 that Chris Brown did, that was excessive. He didn't. I don't know what made him think putting 40 songs on the album was a good idea.
Yeah, but
I like that 10 to 20 range, and this is why.
I like that 10. I like the 10 to 14 range
with with how fast people are dropping music now. When they drop albums that big, the album doesn't wear off as fast because there's so many songs on it. You're not hearing the same song every 30 minutes.
I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah, I'm not.
I figure because there's so many people dropping stuff, if you give me 10 to 14 and they all fucking hit, I'm going to start to listen to the song over and over. I'm going to start to notice stuff that I miss. I'm going to start to appreciate the production, how good the song is sonically. I'm going to start to intertwine myself with the actual piece of music even more.
I mean,
I can see that too. It's no right or wrong. Neither one of us are wrong.
But I can see that too. Yeah. But you listening to it more often is going to tire it out for you quicker than listening to it less.
Yeah.
So if I got 20 songs, I could listen to the album once a day or twice a day if I choose to listen to it again. And it is still fresh because I'm not hearing it over and over again.
Yeah.
And then it's like every rapper is coming out and every R&B artist is dropping longer albums or whatever.
Yeah.
So how I do it is like, okay, so when Lil Baby and what's his name, Herb, they drop their albums on the same day. I'll take a day to listen to each. I'm going to listen to Herb on this day, and then I'm going to listen to Baby tomorrow. I got to give them their own separate days to listen to it because both of them were pretty decent-sized albums, especially My Turn. My Turn was like 20-some songs.
Yeah, that's an exception to what I usually feel. But I'm also very pro Lil
It's like
Baby.
it keeps it fresh for me.
He don't miss with me, so it's like...
It keep it fresh.
Yeah.
You listening to the song not as often.
Facts.
So you like it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And then, like you were saying, you said like an artist would drop an album every, 3, 4 years?
That was the old model back in the 80s.
I couldn't imagine. Because after 2 months, I'm like, all right, Future, what you got cooking for us?
Now, yeah.
I know I'm getting at least 3 or 4 albums out of him a year.
We had less pieces of work to deal with in the 80s and 90s, but albums lasted longer, and that made us appreciate them even more. So it's a good and a bad to both sides of the spectrum. It really is.
I couldn't imagine getting one Drake album every 3 years.
Man,
Like
Sade would go 4-5, man.
I would be
Sade
so
was rough, man.
I would be over him. Like, all right, who coming out with something now? Like, I gotta wait 3 years for another album. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it was a different world, and also styles changed. They didn't change as fast back then too. So you had it was a different world. You know, we try our best to paint the picture of how things were and how they evolved to what they are now. But you know, we definitely gonna tap into that again. So this discussion was great, and I think it led us to have even better discussions in the future. Parting shots. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
All my Breezy fans, I love y'all. Defend me in these comments from the MJ fans.
Man, I'm a Breezy fan. You got a Breezy fan in the building, man. I love Breezy too, man.
And don't get it confused. I love Mike.
Yeah, I know you do.
I love everything Mike done put out.
And you definitely
know.
do. You definitely do. I think what people realize is that if you pick somebody that you feel is better or you personally like, that doesn't mean that you don't like the other person. You know, sometimes people get so tribal with their position or their opinion.
Mike. What did he do to you?
No, I don't. I just I just
feel like,
hear me out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, relax. Yeah. So yeah, my parting shot, I just want to say everybody mask up. You know, COVID is still real. We have to protect our elders. That is very important. So let's continue to do the best that we can until things take a turn for the better.
Stay COVID free.
Stay COVID free.
And follow me on social media.
Follow Nico on social media.
Nico the God on IG.
Yeah.
Nick_Bonds101 on Twitter, the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. And follow me on for updates on the podcast at 1995 podcast. Also follow me my personal page at Scooter the God on IG. So we'll be back soon in a couple of weeks, and we just want to thank you guys for tuning in. And as you already know, it's 95 to infinity.
Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.